Very soon, Tree was starting to fly downwards. It could only mean one thing. They were there. Both Zip and Katie were growing with excitement as Treeland grew closer and closer. It looked lovely. Snow was everywhere, and on the hills were hundreds of trees. At last they touched down. Katie jumped down immediately, while Zip climbed down carefully. They were greeted by wonderful looking trees. They wanted to help the kittens feel welcome.
Welcome to Treeland!
Did you have a nice trip?
Treeland is grateful to welcome your faces!
Oh, I hope you're settling well. The kittens knew they couldn't stay forever, no matter how they felt. Tree felt their pain, so he gathered them both up, along with other trees.
The trees and I will be very sad to take you back home, so we all decided to give you both a present.
He handed Zip and Katie 2 presents, and as they opened them, their faces lit up. Both of them were given 2 toy cats. Zip's one was orange and very cuddly, while Katie's was a snowy white one and also cuddly.
Thank you!
They both said and rushed to give Tree a big hug. All of a sudden there was a stampede of wild dogs. Katie managed to jump up onto Tree's roots, but poor Zip was held down by one of the dogs, and it shoved him in a sack and carried him off. As the pack of dogs ran away with Zip, Katie climbed off of Tree's roots and pleaded him to help her rescue her poor brother.
Of course I will help you, Katie. We shall do all we can. I promise.
When Zip was finally let out of the sack, he was immediately placed in a small cage and dragged off towards a tower. When inside, he could see a king dog sitting on his wonderful looking throne. His crown was the same size as the dog's head and was made of gold and rubies.
Why have you entered my land?
Demanded the king dog.
This land belongs to the trees,
said Zip very bravely.
That is why it's called Treeland. There are more dogs here than trees. We shall wipe them out one day. We do not want creatures like you getting in the way.
The dogs rounded the cage and were about to strike, until Tree's trunk landed on one of them. This caused the other dogs to back off.
We are done with your lot. This is the day that we take our revenge.
Tree shouted. Trees gathered everywhere and started to scratch while the dogs bit. Katie crept up to Zip in his cage, and using her claw, she managed to undo the lock, and Zip was released. After Zip and Katie ran out of the tower, the king dog had been killed by his own fault, by going headfirst into an ice pond. Others were running away, too afraid to stay and fight.
I'm very sorry. I should have protected you both,
Tree said.
It wasn't your fault, Mr. Tree,
replied Zip.
I am very tired, though. I think me and Katie would like to go home, please.
Oh, yes, please. I want to cuddle up with my new toy kitten, Katie said. Tree nodded, and the kittens climbed up his trunk, held onto his leaves, and took off. Both Katie and Zip waved back, calling,
Thank you for everything, and a very Merry Christmas to you all!